Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am going to be doing a 1-week update with my Mac and also to show you guys some apps that I've been using lately that pretty much are useful and helpful and productive and all that stuff. Some of them you know, some of them you don't know, but I'm still going to tell you guys them anyways. So in case you guys don't know already, I have transitioned over to a Mac. I first had a Android and then I moved to iPhone, back to Android, and then back to iPhone. And in terms with the computer, I have been a Windows user since day one. And now I have made the transition to Mac. And of course, all of you pretty much know that using a Windows and using a Mac is completely different. Obviously, user interface, different commands, and it's something that I definitely had to relearn everything, basically. I had to teach myself certain things. I googled some things, you know, because I need some help. But I wanted to tell you guys about my 1-week experience with it, if I loved it, if I liked it, pros, cons, some apps that I use that I think are really helpful, and so forth. So if you guys want to see all the stuff that I use and hear my experience of using a Mac for a week, then keep on watching. But before you do, make sure you're subscribed to my channel and like this video if you like Macs. And if you like Windows too, giving a thumbs up really helps me and helps this channel grow. And don't forget to ring that bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. And follow me on my social media handles. And now we'll get started with the video. So I don't know whether I should start with pros, cons, apps. Maybe I'll start with the apps first. Yeah, let's start with the apps. So there are a few apps that I use currently on my new Mac. One of which is obviously Final Cut Pro. Pretty much everybody uses this to edit their videos. I wanted to use a video editing software that is well known and has a lot more features like transitions, plugins, and like all that stuff. It has a lot more add-ons to it rather than using like the other video editing softwares for like Windows. So next that I just found this out recently. It is the Polar Photo Edit. So I want somewhere I can edit my photos, obviously, for my thumbnails, for like Instagram. But before this, I used Adobe Photoshop. I used the CS4 on my old computer, and that had like brushes in there, like making it look like clouds and other like paint brushes and all that. And I've downloaded a lot of fonts onto this computer as well, like a lot of calligraphy fonts, and I wanted to utilize that. But unfortunately, I couldn't find any other photo editing software or like kind of Photoshop software that I can put my downloaded fonts into it and have like those like brushes or like those special effects. So I finally found this, and you are able to use overlays for it. For example, you can have like a starry sky, you can have clouds in there, you can retouch the faces of your photographs. And one thing that I really liked about this is that I could import my fonts onto it as well. And there are a lot more features on there as well, where you can like do the exposure, the saturation. You can fixate on one particular part of the picture if you want it brighter or not. Basically everything, not everything, but like the essential Photoshop features is on there. So I really recommend this app if you guys want to like try a new one. Definitely check this out. Especially if you want to import like your fonts and everything. That is a big thing. So one thing I really disliked about Windows is that there was no free Word, Excel, so forth. Obviously you could either find a torrent for it, or you could do like a free trial, or you could use Google Docs. Personally, I obviously don't want to pay like $200 for it or however much it is. I didn't want to use Google Docs. I do use it, but I am not a fan of it because the functionalities of it is not the same as the original Excel, Word, and so forth. Like the commands, the function is just different. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's not my cup of tea. I use it only because I can access it on my phone, I can access it, like it's just like I can access it anywhere basically. But in terms of like actually utilizing it and kind of using all the functions for it, it's not the same as what I'm used to. So what I found is WPS. Now some people may know this, some people may not, but this app You can use Word, Excel, PDF. I think you can do some like presentations on it as well. It is all under one app. You don't have to download like separate softwares. And one good thing about this is that it is free. It is flippin' free. So that kind of like was the number one thing that kind of drew me in, especially when I want to use something with Excel. I use Excel a lot. I use Word documents every now and then, but main thing was Excel, and of course, you know, PDFs. Who doesn't use PDFs nowadays? So the fact that like this whole application is free and you have access to all of this, including the same functionalities as you would as Microsoft Word, I would definitely check this out if you guys want like a free application. Okay, so next thing is not from the Apple App Store. It's something that needs to be downloaded. So this is called Swish. So right now I'm using the free trial. I believe you do have to pay for it after the trial ends, and I think this is £5. So with the conversions, let's just say it's 10 Canadian dollars, which is quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie, it's quite a bit of money for it. So fortunately, you're able to try this out before you actually buy it, but to let you guys know, you will get hooked on this. Like, especially if you have a MacBook, you will get hooked on this, because this is mainly for gestures, right? So for example, if I want to minimize the screen, I don't have to click on it. I just have to go to the bar and hold on my mouse, not to click down it, but hold on it and then drag down. Same thing if you want to open it up again, you go to the icon and then you just hold and flick it up. There are options in there where you can like pinch to close the application, but I think that's mainly used for trackpads. Unfortunately, I don't have a trackpad. I do have the Magic Mouse too, so it won't be useful for that, but I don't really mind that. There are other functions on there as well where you can resize the screen like automatically. So normally when I resize my screens on Windows, I just go left to right. And that's about it. But in this case, you have other ways where you can resize it automatically. If let's say you want to go to the right, you go to the same bar again and then hold and shift it to the left. So move your finger to the left and it will just automatically go to the left. Same thing if you want to go to the right. And if you want to change different sizes, or if you want like certain corners of your screen, you can do that as well by pressing shift. So I haven't really dived into like the other functions of this yet, but with this is really great if you want to just have quickly move your screens around without actually like clicking and dragging and all that stuff. The fact that I can have like multiple screens open just right in front of me, like I have YouTube playing, I have my messages, and then like my WhatsApp, or like I have like another Windows that's open. It's just I have a lot of freedom there when it comes to like moving around my windows, and I really like that. So I think you guys should give this a try. Once again, it is a free trial. I believe it's only for 10 days. And I've only been on the trial for maybe a few days now, but I've done a lot of swishing lately. But do give this a go. And if you guys like this app or the other apps I mentioned in this video, or any other things I mentioned in the video, please leave a comment down below. I do really want to read your comments. It makes my day when you guys make a comment on there. And one last app right now is the Clean My Mac. So it definitely cleans up all the junk that's in there. Even though this is a new computer, I do want to keep it there just in case. Like browsing the web, there may be like hidden things in my computer, and I definitely use Clean My Mac to clean it all up, make sure there's enough space in there, free up any space, sorry. And yeah. So those are the apps I currently use right now. After a week of using this computer, these are the ones I found. But if you guys have any recommendations of other apps, please leave a comment section down below so I could check them out. And don't forget to check out these apps as well. If you guys love them, please let me know. I would love to see if you guys really like these apps. And yeah. Okay, so with the apps out of the way, I do want to mention some of the cons I have experienced with this Mac. So some of them is functionality, some of the features I just don't agree with, and I'm just like, why? And why is it so difficult just to change something that's customizable? So I have like my notes right here, and I will list out certain things. And obviously being a Windows user, just maneuvering the whole Apple software is just difficult on its own, because for example the Windows startup or whatever, it's at the bottom left, while the Finder or kind of similar thing is at the top right. Doing the commands and everything is another thing as well I kind of have to get used to. It was a definite learning curve. So one of the things what I mean by like the commands and like the keys on the keyboard is because my fingers have muscle memory when it, for example, like Control C, Control V, like copy and paste. The control is at the very bottom left of the keyboard and it just automatically goes there, right? In this case, obviously it is Command C, so my fingers have to try and maneuver that. And it's just difficult on its own already. I'm just like, crap. Like I clicked like Control, copy, yes, Windows, that's correct. On an Apple, no. So that's something I definitely need to get used to for sure, and I'm still trying to get used to it. And even when hovering like just a select word, I usually click Control, Shift, and the arrow keys. Now I have to do Option, Shift, and the arrow keys, which is not a big difference, but it's definitely something I have to get used to now, and it's difficult because at work I use a Windows and then at home I use a Mac, so my fingers are going all over the place. I'm just like, oh wait, I'm going up. No, I'm going down. Wait, I'm doing Control this and then Shift that. I don't remember my own commands anymore, so it's just confusing. So just one last thing about the cons is that the delete button. Now, I normally use the delete button to delete my files on Windows. So let's say I go in my folder, click whatever I have to click, press delete, and it goes automatically in the trash. Unless there's a way that I don't know about, I can't do that. So I either have to click and drag to the trash can, or I have to right click and then move it to the trash can. It isn't a big deal, don't get me wrong, like some people are used to it, some aren't, like myself. I am personally more used to clicking on whatever, and then when I press delete, it just automatically goes to the trash can. And the fact that like I can't do that, this function, it frustrates me a little bit. But at the same time, I have to remember that this is not the same operating system as Windows, of course. So functions are obviously different. But coming from a Windows user and being used to these certain functions and then have to basically change whatever you know, it's frustrating as heck. So after all the cons, which is not a major deal, like these cons are very, very minor. I know some people like really despise Apple's like system and how they like restrict a lot of things. But as of right now, these are the things that are bothering me, just these minor things compared to like the bigger picture. Maybe down the line I'll find some more things that I don't like about Apple, I don't know, but those are the things right now. With that being said, we're now going to move on to the pros of Apple. So one of the things that I really, really love about Apple is that I can actually customize my file icons. Now, I don't know if Windows does this or not, correct me if I'm wrong, but I was not able to change the folder icon on my Windows. If you can, please let me know, but it's not like it matters right now, but I would still like to know about it. When I saw Michelle Phan showing how to customize your folder icons, I was like, this is it. I really wanted this. I really wanted to like customize my icons because no one wants to just have a boring folder there, and that's what I had on my Windows. I really wanted to change the icon, but I couldn't because it's either there was no way or I didn't know how. So that was one of the things that I really, really liked about it, about Apple, that I could customize my folder icon. Aside from the folders, this could be a good or bad thing depending on the person. Now, when I first started, you know, getting used to everything and trying to see how to grant access to everything, I clearly did not know what the hell to do. I'm just like, everything looks fine here, whatever. I see like a little lock symbol, but I'm thinking, okay, that's probably nothing. Don't know why I thought that. But then after a while, after like Googling some stuff, it's like, hey, you have to grant access by doing this, by doing that. You have to click the unlock lock. And I was just like, oh my god, are you kidding me right now? But at the same time, it's like Apple does not take security very lightly at all. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, this is a good thing or a bad thing depending on the person. Like I said, I don't hate it. It's something I have to get used to because it's Apple. Because obviously with Windows, there's a lot of freedom that you can download and everything. Well, obviously Apple, they restrict a lot of things. So for example, there was a section there just like only download things from the App Store, the Apple App Store, and then I'm like trying to download something that was outside the App Store, and then it's like, hey, you can't do it, but you need grant access. Didn't know how to do that, so I finally figured it out, and I got access to it. And it's just like it was a headache trying to figure all this out. In my unboxing video, that I had such a hard time looking for the applications page. I ended up figuring it out, but trying to find where my pictures were was another thing. I was like, where the heck is all this stuff? Like, I had no idea where to go. And then I finally figured out that I had to click go and then find my user and then click everything else. I was like, but to be fair, when you do first open up the File Explorer, the pictures, the music, your documents are already set up on the side already. So in this case for Apple, the fact that it was on the side there already, I'm like freaking out, trying to figure out where it is. Like, what the heck? Where did my pictures go? Where did my music go? I know I put it in a folder somewhere because it's clearly playing music and all that, so I didn't know where it was, and then I finally found it. Also, one tip for you guys in case you don't know already in terms of like the whole folders page and all that stuff. Definitely turn off your pathway so you can look back to see where this file came from, what file, so obviously you have a link to where it came from. Because Windows, I believe it does it automatically, Apple doesn't, so you definitely should turn that on, and especially the status bar to see how much memory you have left in your system. So those are two I would definitely recommend turning on in case you haven't done so already. So now we're gonna move on to the dock. I don't hate the dock. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I have mixed emotions about it. I really like the dock, the fact that it kind of like lays out your main apps. You can take out an app, you can add an app, whatever it may be. Just everything is on there and it's organized, and my OCD is just like, so I really like that part. Like, I have a love-hate relationship with this. Like, I like it how it's so organized, but then at the same time, it's like I kind of want it somewhere else and everything. I don't know. I'm just weird. I'm making it more difficult for myself. But overall, I do like the dock. I like how my main apps are on there. And the fact that like everything is synced together, like my iMessages, my text messages, it's all on there. My contacts are on there. My mail is on there. Everything's just so accessible, just at the bottom of the dock already. And I know some people don't like the mail app that it comes with, but I don't know if it's just me, I don't hate it, especially when I use the mouse trying to like swiping from side to side on an email I can delete, I could read or unread or whatever the case may be. I actually enjoy that part of it. Maybe I'm just the weird one, but I hear a lot of people not liking the mail app that's on default on there. So one thing I really like about this is that their apps on there there's not a lot of bloat apps on there. I deleted pages, I deleted numbers. One of the things I really liked and kept was the quick player. I think that's what it was. And I could screenshot, I can record my screen without downloading a third-party app. Now you can download a third-party app. I personally just didn't want to because it's like, it's here already. Why should I download something else? Makes no sense. So I really like that it's already built in. That's one of the things I really loved about Apple, because when I was with Android, I would have to download a third-party app to record my screen. And my best friend has been with Apple for years and years, and she's just recorded the screen like it's nobody's business. So like, well, I gotta download this third-party app to record my screen to show you what's going on. So I love that it's already built in there, and I don't have to worry about like doing screenshots or anything. And also I could just send the picture straight away to whoever, like on WhatsApp, messages, or my emails. So there are a few things I really liked about Apple, and there's some things I obviously liked about Windows because I was a Windows user for like, I don't know, like 20 years now, over 20 years. Anyways, you guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you check out these other videos right here. It will make me so happy if you did. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.